Brian Morgan here with Reelwind. The movie I'm reviewing, Public Enemies. It's a John Dillinger movie, acted by Johnny Depp. A very watchable movie. It was very well done as far as all the quality. It's a 1930s gangster type movie, but it's a little different take on it. The truth was, John Dillinger, who introduced himself and states, "I robbed banks." You know, he was very, very confident, but he was just not a nice man. And the movie's director, Michael Mann, decided to stay true to the facts rather than make Dillinger out to be more of a Hollywood glorified character. You know, he really stayed true to who Dillinger was, which made the movie more satisfying to me. Dillinger wasn't as much, or at least portrayed as much, of his Robin Hood legend as the film could have portrayed him, but rather chose to display his character for what he was. And he saw himself as a businessman. And a lot of the movie starts when he breaks out of jail, and you know, he was a very disciplined, confident, violent man. It's just who he was. And he was loved by his gang members as they made a lot of money. And he really looked out for them. He might have joked with lawmen and others, but not with his gang members. He was very disciplined, very precision type of businessman. And his only care was about planning the next job. There was no plan B. There was no retirement. There was no riding off into the sunset. It's just what's next. And he was a big movie fan. And as the movie portrays, suggests in there, he watched a lot of movies. So a lot of the 1930s gangsters kind of got a lot of their image and stuff as to how they were portrayed in Hollywood. And you know, he does find a love interest in the movie. And it's an interesting take on it in that they never are a couple. They're not a Bonnie Clyde type of couple. It's him and it's her, to where he sees her, he buys her things, takes her out, protects her from a lot from the dangers of being his girl. And she is one that needs protecting, and he needs someone to protect, to really affirm his invincibility. And the movie fits very well into the time period. And I think what the movie was, what might not agree with some, might be that there's no real closure to it. It's not a, gangster, again, rides off into the sunset, or, settles down somewhere and gets to live out his life. There's not really a closure to it. And so it's kind of, probably because that stays more true to the facts. It's not it's less of a glamorous Hollywood movie and more of a, hey, here's this guy. He's a bad man. And although legend maybe portray him and as a more Hollywood glorified character, this was really more true to who he was. And he was a very savvy, very disciplined, businessman again, almost a militaristic type. But I really enjoyed the movie. And again, it's a very, very watchable, very well acted, but very watchable type of movie, and fit really, really well into the timepiece. So I would definitely give this a 4 out of 5 stars. And I think it's kind of hard to say what's really missing in it. It's a really good movie, not too over the top, but just a fantastic movie. I definitely would recommend it. And again, it's available on Netflix. Again, the movie's Public Enemies. And here for the next Reelwind review, this is Brian Morgan at Overture West Ashley.